Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into something really fascinating, thriving in this super interconnected world we live in. Just think about it for a second. Your career, your business, even academic stuff. The old boundaries, they're just not geographical anymore, are they? It's more about like your ambition, your skills, and this is the big one, how you communicate your value, globally. So today's deep dive, it's all about crafting a personal brand, one that's compelling, but also authentic and importantly, globally recognized. And if you're listening right now, maybe you're an ambitious professional, a forward-thinking academic, an innovator, an artist. We want to show you that this isn't just some nice to have. It's essential, really.
Absolutely. And look, we can't stress this enough. English, it's the key. It's the undeniable vehicle for building that brand on the world stage. It's way more than just a language. It's like the universal bridge.
Exactly. And this is where you, our C1 English learner listener, have this amazing edge. You're past just the grammar rules, right? You're dealing with nuance, idioms.
Yeah.
You can actually use the language persuasively. You've got the tools not just to talk, but to influence, to lead, maybe even inspire. And this deep dive, it's all about firing up that linguistic superpower you've already got.
Yeah. So first, we're going to dig into the why. Like, why is a global personal brand so powerful? Then we'll shift straight into the how, giving you a really practical toolkit. We've got some inspiring stories. We'll look at the challenges, the tricky bits, and then finish up with a clear action plan you can literally start using straight away.
Okay, let's jump right into that why. Personal brand. I think for a lot of people, the first thing that pops into their head is maybe social media influencers, right? Or big name CEOs. But for the people listening, the professionals, academics, entrepreneurs, it feels like it should mean something deeper, more fundamental. How would you define it for them, sort of stripping away all that celebrity stuff?
That's a great starting point because it is fundamental. Forget the influencers for a second. Basically, your personal brand. It's your professional reputation. Simple as that. It's what people say about you when you're not around. It's this kind of amalgamation of your skills, your experiences, your values, your unique view on things. All communicated consistently. Think of it like your story, the story you tell the professional world about who you are, what you believe in, the problems you solve, and importantly, why they should trust you or hire you or, work with you.
Okay, so it's your professional story, but why is having that story defined so crucial now? It's shifted to make it like indispensable.
Well, it's really about cutting through the noise, isn't it? In this incredibly crowded world. First off, it builds trust, big time. When you're consistent in what you say and do, people start to see you as credible. They know what to expect. And trust. Well, trust is like the currency of the digital age, right? So your brand isn't just about being visible. It's about being reliable, predictable almost, in this chaotic online world. It turns you from just a name into someone people actually look for.
Trust. Yeah, absolutely. It's like it's the anchor. In this sea of information, your brand is that consistent thing people can rely on. What else? What else does it do?
Second thing, it creates differentiation. In a global talent pool, being good just doesn't cut it anymore. There are millions of good people. Your personal brand is like your unique fingerprint. It's not just what you do, but how you do it, why you do it, the specific perspective only you bring. It's the difference between, being lost in the crowd and being the one everyone notices.
Yeah, standing out, not just being another face.
Exactly. And third, and this follows naturally, a strong brand attracts opportunities. It acts like a magnet. So opportunities, clients, jobs, partnerships, they start coming to you. You're not always the one chasing. It's like your own personal inbound marketing machine.
Wow, that idea of opportunities finding you.
Yeah.
That's really powerful. And the last point, maybe the most important.
I think so. Finally, it gives you control of your narrative. This is huge. If you don't consciously build your brand, you're basically letting other people define you, maybe based on like old information or just random bits they find online. Personal branding puts you firmly in the driver's seat. You get to tell your story your way.
Controlling your own story.
Yeah.
Which brings us back to the vehicle for that story on the global stage. And like you said, increasingly that's English. Why has it become so dominant? This sort of lingua franca of ambition.
It's just everywhere. In the key global sectors, it's unavoidable. Take business and tech. English is the language. International deals, finance, tech, innovation, Silicon Valley, Singapore, London, it's all happening in English. Then there's academia and research. If you want to be part of the global conversation, publish in the top journals, speak at big conferences, well, You need high-level English. It's simply non-negotiable. And then, of course, the digital world itself just runs on English, doesn't it? LinkedIn, the biggest professional network, mostly English, the most influential blogs, podcasts, online courses, overwhelmingly English. Even platforms like X or Threads, they become truly global tools when you use English.
Right. So it's not about like ditching your own language or culture. It's more like building a bridge.
Exactly that. You're building a bridge, a way to share your unique background, your insights, your expertise with the biggest possible audience.
Okay, so this brings us right back to you, our C1 listener. Given English is this crucial bridge, what's their specific advantage at the C1 level? They're beyond just basic communication. Yep.
Oh, the advantage is huge. Immense, really. At C1, you can understand complex stuff, even the implied meanings. You can express yourself fluently, spontaneously. You can use English flexibly for social stuff, academic work, professional settings. You can produce clear, detailed writing on complex topics. This isn't just about understanding, it's about producing, influencing. It means you can do so much more than just, translate your CV. You can write a really nuanced LinkedIn summary that shows your personality. You can craft a blog post that actually positions you as a thought leader. You can jump into sophisticated online debates and hold your own. You can tell a story that really connects with an international audience. This is where that linguistic superpower really kicks in.
Okay, so understanding why it's so important is the first piece. Now, for everyone listening who's thinking, right, I'm ready, what do I actually do? Let's get practical. Let's dive into the how the toolkit, starting right at the beginning. Defining your brand core. Where do we even start with that self-audit piece? It sounds kind of daunting.
It can feel that way, but it's about honesty. First, list your skills and expertise and think broad, hard skills like coding or financial analysis, but also soft skills like managing projects or communicating across cultures. What problems can you genuinely solve? Second, dig into your passions and interests. What do you just love talking about or reading about even when you're not working? That passion, it's infectious. It makes your brand real. Third, nail down your values. What principles really guide you professionally? Is it honesty, innovation, sustainability? These are like the moral compass for your brand.
Okay, skills, passions, values. And from those, you find your unique selling proposition that you have. This is where it gets really interesting, right? This is what makes you different.
Precisely. Your USP lives at the intersection of those three things. What's unique about your specific mix? Are you, say, a software dev who's also really passionate about green tech, or a finance analyst who's brilliant at making complex data super clear for everyone else? That intersection, that's your sweet spot, your niche. And once you got that clarity, then you craft your brand statement. Think of it as your personal elevator pitch. Short, powerful, maybe 2 or 3 sentences.
And what absolutely has to be in that statement to make it punchy and effective?
Okay, 4 key things. Who you are, or your main expertise. What you do, the value you bring, the problem you solve. Who you do it for your target audience, and what makes you different, that USP we just talked about. So a weak example is just, I am a marketing manager. Doesn't tell me much, does it? A strong one might be. I'm a data-driven marketing strategist. I help SaaS startups grow faster, building customer acquisition funnels that actually scale. I love mixing analytics with creative storytelling to turn clicks into loyal fans. See the difference?
Huge difference, yeah.
And practice saying it. In English, out loud, until it feels natural.
That breakdown is super helpful. And I guess once you have that statement, knowing who you're actually talking to is the next big piece. So when we talk about target audience, it's not just recruiters or clients, is it? How specific do people need to get?
Oh, absolutely. Specificity is everything here. Instead of just recruiters, maybe it's technical recruiters at mid-sized European tech firms that specialize in AI. Instead of just clients, maybe it's marketing directors at ethical fashion brands in North America who need help with sustainable supply chains.
Yeah.
Knowing exactly who you're talking to shapes your tone, the platforms you use, the content you create, everything.
Right. Got it. So you've done the internal work, defined your core. Now you need to actually build your online presence. And LinkedIn, well, it's pretty much ground zero, isn't it? You said treat it like a dynamic landing page, not just a CV.
That's the mindset shift. It's alive, it's dynamic, your profile picture and banner. Professional, obviously, but also relevant. Give a visual clue about your field. Your headline's super important. Don't just put your job title. Use a version of your brand statement. Something like, senior software engineer, building scalable fintech solutions with Python and AWS, passionate about open source collaboration. Instantly tells me more. Then the about section. Write it in the first person. Make it engaging. Start with a hook. Talk about your skills, sure, but also your why. Let your personality come through a bit. And always, always end with a clear call to action. What do you want people to do next?
Okay, and the experience section. You mentioned it's not just listening duties, it's about results. You talked about the STAR method.
Yes. Star situation, task, action, result. It's gold for this section. Use strong action verbs. Quantify your results whenever you possibly can. Numbers speak volumes. So instead of just saying responsible for social media, you write something like spearheaded a new Instagram content strategy, which boosted engagement by 45% and grew followers by 10K in 6 months using user-generated content and data-driven scheduling. See, impact.
Yeah, much more powerful. And then there are the skills and endorsements and recommendations. Don't forget those.
Definitely not. Curate your skills list. Make sure it reflects your brand core, what you want to be known for, and recommendations. They're powerful social proof. Don't be afraid to ask former colleagues or clients for them, specifically in English. Offer to write one for them too. It's good networking practice.
So LinkedIn is the mothership. What about other platforms? How do you keep that brand consistent if you're also on, say, X or have a personal website?
Consistency is the name of the game. For quick takes, sharing insights, connecting with industry folks, X or Twitter is great. Your bio there should be like a mini brand statement. A personal website or blog, that's your ultimate home base, your digital real estate. You control everything there. Portfolio, in-depth articles, and don't forget industry-specific platforms. If you're a designer, Behance or Dribbble. A researcher, ResearchGate or academia.edu. Developer. GitHub is crucial. Pick the ones that make sense for your field and keep the branding aligned.
Okay, so profiles tell people who you are, but the content, that's how you prove it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about content being king, showing your value through English, starting with writing blog posts, articles.
Right. Writing is probably one of the best ways to establish yourself as a thought leader, and you don't need to be Shakespeare. The main goal is sharing what you know. Clearly, generously, consistently. Think about your target audience's pain points. Answer their common questions. Explain complex stuff simply. Share case studies. Offer your unique take on industry trends. You can publish on your own blog, use LinkedIn articles, maybe Medium, and crucially, don't just broadcast. Engage with other people's content too. If you share an article, add a couple of sentences in English with your key takeaway. Why is this worth reading? When you comment on posts, add real value. Ask smart questions. Offer a respectful counterpoint or share a related experience.
Right, it's about the conversation. And then there's speaking. Video seems huge now, even short clips, like 1 or 2 minutes.
Oh, absolutely. Short videos are incredibly effective for building that personal connection. Quick tips, explain a concept, commenting on news. It makes you relatable. And beyond that, look for chances to be a guest on podcasts or webinars in your niche. That's a fantastic way to reach a whole new audience that's already interested in what you do.
Okay, but now, the elephant in the room for many non-native speakers, especially with audio or video, the accent. It's a genuine fear, isn't it?
Sure.
People will judge my accent.
It is a very common fear, yeah. But we really need to reframe this completely. Your accent, it is not a weakness. It's actually a powerful part of your global identity. It tells people you're multilingual, you have international experience, you bring a different cultural perspective. That's valuable. The focus should be on clarity and confidence. Speak clearly, sure, but don't obsess about eliminating your accent. Honestly, a slight accent often makes you more memorable, more authentic. Think about famous global figures, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Salma Hayek, Sundar Pichai. Their accents are part of their brand. It adds flavor, uniqueness.
That's a great perspective. Okay, theory's one thing, but seeing it in action, that really makes it click. Let's talk about some real-world examples. You mentioned Elena, a software developer from Buenos Aires. Challenge? Mostly Spanish-speaking network, not much online visibility, even though she was really good.
Right. Elena's strategy, using English, was very deliberate, very consistent. She started documenting her personal coding projects on GitHub. But not just dumping code, she wrote really clear professional read-me files in English, explained the why behind her choices. Then she got active on places like Stack Overflow and relevant subreddits, answering questions in English. But again, not just giving code snippets, explaining the concepts behind them. And she started a simple blog on Medium, wrote these in-depth articles in English about technical challenges she'd solved. Things like, optimizing PostgreSQL queries for time series data.
Wow, okay. So she was consistently putting value out there in English. And the result?
Well, a recruiter from a fintech company in Berlin happened to see one of her really insightful answers on Stack Overflow. He got curious, clicked through to her GitHub, was super impressed by how well documented her projects were. Then he found her blog. He saw this clear pattern: deep expertise, great communication skills, and a genuine passion for solving problems. He reached out on LinkedIn, and basically all that consistent, value-driven content she'd created in English had built this brand of her being a helpful expert. It opened a door she probably couldn't have even knocked on otherwise. It really showed the power of showing, not just telling.
That's fantastic. Contribution leading to connection. Okay, next up, Kenji, a graphic designer from Osaka. Brilliant minimalist style, but challenge. Worried about his English writing, kind of shy about self-promotion.
Yeah, Kenji was smart. He played to his strengths, took a very visual-first approach, focused hard on platforms like Behance and Instagram where his work could shine. For each project on Behance, he didn't write essays. He crafted short, impactful English descriptions using a simple template. Client's problem, my creative solution, the result. And he used tools, Grammarly, getting a friend to proofread his English. Smart moves. On Instagram, he shared his process, little snippets, behind-the-scenes stuff, with simple English captions and the right hashtags to get seen globally.
Visual first, clear descriptions. And how did that pan out?
A creative director from a Scandinavian furniture company found his portfolio on Behance. She loved the visuals, obviously, but what really sealed the deal was how clear and concise his English descriptions were. They showed his design thinking. It proved to her that he could not only do beautiful work, but also understand a brief and communicate his ideas effectively to an international team. That was critical for them. It led to a long-term contract.
Nice. And finally, Fatma, a marketing consultant in Dubai. Challenge. Very niche expertise. Luxury retail in the Middle East needed to make that relevant globally.
Fatima zeroed in on LinkedIn as her main stage. She committed to writing weekly articles in English. Her angle was smart. She bridged global marketing trends with specific local consumer behavior in the GCC region. Titles like 3 Things Global Luxury Brands Misunderstand About the GCC Customer instantly grabbed attention, showed her unique value. She also did strategic networking, didn't just spam connection requests. She'd engage thoughtfully with executives' posts first, then send a personalized request mentioning their work. And she constantly highlighted her global local view, sharing major English marketing articles, but adding her own sharp analysis for the Minyar region.
So consistency, unique perspective. How did that pay off?
Pretty quickly, actually. Her high-value content established her as the go-to expert she aimed to be. Within months, she got invited to speak on a virtual panel for a UK marketing conference. And then marketing directors from global brands started reaching out directly for consulting work. She basically used English to leverage her deep local knowledge into a globally recognized, highly valuable brand.
Those stories are so inspiring. They really show it's possible. But let's be real, the path isn't always easy. There are mental hurdles, especially for non-native English speakers. Let's tackle those inner critics. First one. Imposter syndrome. That voice saying, my English just isn't perfect enough.
Oh, this one is huge. So common. You hear your own little mistakes, you know the words you're missing, and you think, I'm not ready. But here's the reframe, and it's important. C1 level English. It is more than enough. You speak English better than a massive chunk of the world's population. The goal here isn't grammatical perfection. It's effective communication, delivering value. Honestly, native speakers make mistakes all the time, often more than they even realize. Your audience cares about your ideas, your insights, your solutions, not whether you nailed every single preposition. Remember, progress over perfection. Always.
Okay, progress over perfection. Then there's the fear of making mistakes. What if people laugh at me? That can really stop you in your tracks.
Yeah, it's a paralyzing thought sometimes. But the reality check. The professional world is generally way more supportive than you might think, especially compared to, like, school. People are usually genuinely impressed when someone operates at a high level in a second language, talking about complex professional stuff. And honestly, anyone who would mock a small grammatical error, they're probably not someone you want in your network anyway. Focus on being generous with your knowledge. Connect with the people who appreciate that.
Good point. Filter out the negativity.
Yeah.
And back to the accent problem we touched on earlier. How can listeners truly start seeing it as an asset, not something to hide?
It really is a mindset shift. Your accent isn't a problem. It's part of your brand's unique value proposition. It signals your international background, your journey, your multilingualism. Like we said, think of those global figures. Their accents are part of their identity, their brand story. It makes them distinct. Focus on clarity, yes. Speak confidently. But let your accent be that subtle reminder of the unique global perspective you bring. It really does add flavor.
And lastly, navigating cultural differences. Communication is so much more than just the words, right? It's all the unspoken stuff. How do you avoid accidentally stepping on toes?
Yeah, this takes awareness. The key here is humility and observation. Be a really good listener. Pay attention to how people communicate in the specific professional circles you're targeting. Are they very direct? More indirect? Is humor common? When you're unsure, it's usually safest to lean slightly more formal and always be polite. And it's absolutely okay. In fact, it shows you're being careful to ask for clarification. Something like, just to make sure I'm understanding correctly, you mean. People appreciate that you're making the effort to truly understand.
Okay, this has been incredibly insightful. Now let's bring it all together. Time for a concrete action plan. For everyone listening who's fired up and ready to start, here's a 4-week personal branding kickstart plan designed just for you. Week 1, foundation and strategy. Okay, first week, it's all about that self-audit. Really dig deep. Skills, passions, values. Nail down your niche and who exactly your target audience is. Then, craft that English brand statement. Polish it till it feels right. And important, find 5 or 10 people in your field with strong English personal brands. Analyze what they do well. Learn from them.
That analysis part is key. Don't just look, analyze.
Week 2. The LinkedIn transformation, right? Week 2 is LinkedIn Bootcamp, new profile, pick professional. Rewrite that headline using your brand statement. Craft a compelling about section first person. Tell your story, show some personality. Then tackle your experience section for the last 2 jobs. Use star, use action verbs, focus on achievements. Curate your top 10 skills, make sure they align with your brand. And reach out, ask 2 people for a recommendation.
Yeah, getting those recommendations early is a great social proof.
Week 3, content and engagement. Now you start doing. Share 3 relevant articles on LinkedIn this week. But don't just share 2 or 3 sentences of your insight in English. Why is this important? Then find 5 posts from leaders in your space. Leave a thoughtful, value-adding comment on each. Next, brainstorm 10 potential article topics based on your expertise. And finally, outline and write your first 500-word piece. No pressure to publish yet, just get it drafted.
Getting that first piece written is a big milestone. Don't overthink it, just write.
Week 4, expanding your footprint. Okay, final week of the Kickstart. Proofread that article you wrote last week. Publish it. LinkedIn articles or Medium are good places to start. Make sure your bio on other relevant platforms like X is consistent with your brand statement. Pick 1 or 2 industry-specific platforms, GitHub, Behance, whatever fits, and start building a presence there. And lastly, just for practice and confidence, record a quick 60-second intro video on your phone. Just you. Your brand statement, you don't even have to post it.
That video practice is surprisingly helpful, even if it stays private. Gets you used to articulating your brand out loud.
Exactly. Okay, and to help everyone articulate their brand even more sharply, let's do a quick C1 vocabulary booster for personal branding. Let's hit a few key terms. First one, articulate.
Right, to articulate. It means expressing ideas or feelings clearly and effectively. So you might say, I need to articulate my value proposition more clearly. It's about fluent expression.
Good one. Then leverage. Seems popular.
Yeah, to leverage. It basically means using something you have experience, skills, connections to get the maximum advantage. Like, I plan to leverage my network to find new opportunities, using what you've got strategically.
And cultivate a brand.
To cultivate. This implies developing something over time, nurturing it. It takes time to cultivate a strong personal brand. It suggests deliberate, ongoing effort.
Okay. A compelling story.
Compelling means it grabs your attention, it's really interesting or persuasive. He shared a compelling vision for the future of the industry. It makes you want to listen.
Your niche.
Your niche. That specific, specialized area where you focus. My niche is helping small businesses with their digital marketing. It's your corner of the market.
Becoming a thought leader.
A thought leader. Someone whose expertise and views are recognized and respected in their field. They often shape the conversation. She's become a real thought leader in sustainable fashion.
Value proposition. We mentioned this.
Right. Value proposition.
Yeah.
It's that clear, concise statement about the benefit you provide, who it's for, and what makes you unique. Very close to the brand statement. Our value proposition is simple. We save you time and money. It's your core offer.
To spearhead something.
To spearhead means to lead an initiative or project, take the lead role. She spearheaded the company's expansion into Asia, shows leadership and initiative.
And differentiate.
To differentiate,
Yeah.
to make yourself or your offering distinct from others, to stand out. We need to differentiate our services based on quality, not just price. Finding what makes you unique.
Last one, amalgamation.
Amalgamation. It's just a slightly more formal word for a combination or mixture of things. Your personal brand is an amalgamation of your skills, experiences, and personality, bringing different elements together.
Fantastic. Look, building a personal brand is definitely a marathon, not a sprint. We know that. It takes patience, consistency, and a bit of courage to put yourself out there. But for you, listening as a C1 English learner, this is such an incredible opportunity. You genuinely have the language schools now to go beyond borders, to build a professional reputation that's not just noticed, but really valued globally. So as you go forward, try to see every single interaction in English, an email, a comment you leave online, an update to your profile. See it as one more brick you're laying down, building your professional identity. And please, embrace your unique background, your cultural viewpoint, even your accent. Celebrate them. They aren't flaws, they're features. They're what make you stand out in a world that often pushes everyone to be the same.
Absolutely. The tools, you've got them. The language, it's in your command now. Your unique global story is literally waiting to be told in English for the whole world to hear. So maybe the real question isn't if you can build this brand, it's
Sure.
what unique, compelling global story are you going to choose to tell? It really is time to start building